Good morning, Creepy Cat Calendar folks. It's Anastasia. It is 5:30 in the morning, and I decided that I would start our June video a little bit different. I decided that I was going to start with our little dance party because that's usually how I start my day. It's not getting into the thick of it in my mind, but rather starting the morning by going for a walk and dancing and just laying out that welcome mat of good energy. So that is what we're going to do today. And for that, I'm going to take you to my secret dance floor in the forest. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Okay, so here we are at my secret little dance floor in the forest. We are going to just dance to a song. So just for the fun of it. And this is something most of you know I've been doing. Actually, it's coming up on almost 900 days now. It's wild. But there's no certain way you need to dance, no moves you need to do. It's just about listening to the music and getting out of your head and just being present and seeing what happens. So have fun, and I will see you all on the other side of the music.
I've been trying to call, I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I look around and since city's cold and empty, no one's around to touch me. I can see clearly when you're gone. I say I'm blinded by the lights. Now I can't sleep late till I feel your touch. I say I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. I'm running out of time, 'cause I can see the sun light up the sky. So I hit the road in overdrive, baby. The city's cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly when you're gone. I say I'm blinded by the lights. Now I can't sleep late till I feel your touch. I say I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. I'm just walking by to let you know I can never say it on the phone. We'll never let you go this time. I say I'm blinded by the lights. Now I can't sleep late till I feel your touch. I say I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust.
Hey, Cool Calendar folks, I'm back. I'm in the office. Obviously have... Okay, wait. I'm not allowed to delete this blooper. What I was trying to say is that I've obviously showered since I went dancing and filmed the first video, and for some reason words became difficult for me. But here I am, showered, ready to film our June video, and I'm sure that you are thrilled to be here, as I am to have you. I'm coming to you from the very tiny Kula Fulfillment Center. Very rarely seen. It's like a tiny little gem that hides in the forest. And we come out into this little space and fulfill all of our orders from here. And I just love it out here. And I'm excited for all of you to be here still in the Calendar Club if you're still watching these videos this month. The past month, May, has been really fun, and there have been a few things that I sort of personally, I guess, have been focusing on, and I guess I sort of wanted to use this video to share a little update. So the last video that I filmed, maybe it felt a little bit cryptic, like what's Anastasia talking about? She's like taking this break from social media and talking about how she's not using her phone, but I still see her on there. So what's up with this? Why are you telling us this, Anastasia? And for me, the reason that I'm hopefully sharing this with you, my hope is that you become involved in the creation process. So you can hear me talk about something that I'm working on in my own life and towards the creation of my own dream and vision for Kula or for my life personally. You hear me talk about it and describe what I'm doing in order to allow that reality to come to fruition. And then I can share updates on what has happened. And then hopefully you can look at your own life and say, these are things that I want to create, and what can I do in my life from exactly where I am right now without needing anything to change to begin to allow that to unfold. So last month, I had a personal realization that I was suffering from a severe addiction to my cell phone. And this was sort of a social media addiction, phone addiction, but it was almost like just this compulsive and unconscious checking of things. Like, why do I need to check in? And so I kind of decided to go cold turkey on it. I quit using my phone entirely on weekends, with the exception of obviously phone calls and text messages and an occasional email. But absolutely, I cut myself off completely from social media. And I will say the first couple weekends were kind of tough for me. I felt like I was in this weird limbo land. I don't know. I feel like, Jared, you need to edit in some like I don't know, space stuff. That's what I felt like. I felt like I was floating in space because I felt like I had gotten disconnected from this world that I then subsequently realized was an imaginary world in the palm of my hand. And I had this realization that I was more plugged into the imaginary world than I was to my real world. Namely, my connection with myself, my connection with my husband, my connection with the real things in my life. At the time that I decided to do this, I was feeling not stuck, but like that I knew that there was energy that could be used in a better, more creative way. And I asked myself, where is this energy going? Like, where am I spending it in ways that are not helping me? And that phone addiction was definitely one of them. And I began to notice subsequent and dramatic improvements in my life almost as soon as I kind of got over those first few weeks of kind of strange withdrawal symptoms from not checking my phone all the time. And noticed that things started to happen in fun and unique ways. I started connecting with different people, new opportunities started showing up. Just this past month, Kula was featured on CNN. It was featured in Backpacker magazine. Like, all of these things that I had really wanted to create. I had actually told my husband, this is wild, I had actually told my husband last month that I wanted to get more engagements either speaking or teaching about backcountry hygiene or anything along those lines. And out of the blue, totally out of the blue, 2 different organizations approached me to teach classes, large organizations, about backpacking and hygiene. And just such a cool opportunity that just sort of seemingly came out of nowhere. And that begs the question, did it come out of nowhere? Or through the freeing up of my energy that was no longer devoted to this, had I somehow adjusted something about where I was or what I was doing, that I was aligned with these opportunities in ways that would have not otherwise happened had I been sitting like this? And I believe that the answer to that is yes, because I find it so much more than a coincidence that in the month that I decide to sort of quit this cell phone addiction, that all of this goodness and momentum begins to start happening. And so for me, it has been just a really neat experience to realize and focus and truly ask myself, like, what is that better version of me? What does best version of Anastasia look like? What is Anastasia, founder of these outdoor gear companies and products, like, what does she look like? What is she doing? How is she acting? What is she bringing to the world? And is what I'm doing right now lined up with those things? And then if it's not, what can I do now without needing to, like, I don't need to go out and buy a private jet instantly. Like, I'll save that for a week from now. Jared put like a little jet in here. I love Jared. Thanks, Jared, for editing these videos. Really like you. You do a great job. Proud of you. Jared's at college, by the way, everybody, and he does an amazing job. I don't need to do that right now, but I can look at small ways that I can line myself up with that best version of myself. And I know that the best version of myself is not scrolling the internet or like compulsively checking her phone. I know that. So I encourage all of you to look at your life and, paint a picture of who that best version of yourself is. Even if it seems like this distant future place, or even if you don't know all the details, right? You don't need to know all the details. You could come up with adjectives or, words that could express how you want to feel. Maybe you want to feel free. Maybe you want to feel at peace. Maybe you want to feel inspired and relaxed and ignited with creativity and full of joy and passion for life. Maybe those are what you want to feel. And how can you begin to start to feel those things now without needing your life situation to change? That's how I approach everything in my business and in my life, because I don't want to sit here and just press the repeat button over and over again. Because if I just sit here and stare at what is and complain about it or wish I was somewhere different, I'll never actually make it to where I want to go. It is only through feeling the energy and the essence of what you want to create that you open the door. Open the door. Great sound effects. Open the door to everything that is out there for you and the infinite possibilities and ways that anything is possible. And I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. I hope that through sharing this, I can show you all that this is true and that it does work. And it's a beautiful process that is achievable and duplicatable, not by people who have special gifts or skills, but by anybody. I am no more talented or special or different or gifted than any other individual on this planet. I promise you that. I am a totally normal, completely imperfect person And I am just out here trying my best every day. But I know for a fact that if I can do this, anybody else can too. And I hope that you know that you are included in that group of people who can do anything. The last thing I want to add is something else that I have been thinking about lately, and it's something that I've thought about a lot since I started meditating many years ago. But so much of our suffering that we experience in life is in our head. It's not because the situation that we are thinking about is happening at that very moment, and yet we suffer. This morning in the dance experiment, we did this really great meditation, and the meditation teacher used this beautiful metaphor that I wanted to share with all of you. And he said that when you go to a movie and you see a storm or hurricane on the screen at the movie theater doesn't get wet. The screen is just this blank canvas upon which something is being displayed. Similarly, if there's a really violent scene in a movie and there's explosions and bombs and fires, the movie screen doesn't blow up. It's still there. It's unaffected by it. And that's really such a great analogy for our consciousness, that we are the awareness, we are the blank canvas of all of the life experiences that we are going through on any given day. And can we take a step back and observe that? Are we getting angry or upset or fearful or doubtful at the person in our head? Maybe just an imaginary person that we're talking to, having an imaginary conversation with. Maybe it's even with ourselves. Maybe it's with a coworker. Maybe it's with a spouse or a friend. Are we mad in an imaginary situation in our head and experiencing suffering as a result of that? Or is that person here right now in the present moment? And asking ourselves that question in any situation, not just with another person, but asking ourselves, okay, what is causing me this suffering or this fear or this doubt right now? Is it my life situation right now where I'm just sitting here in a chair? Or is it my thoughts about something? I think that it was Shakespeare who said, and I'll probably paraphrase this horribly, I'm sorry, Shakespeare, that nothing is either good or bad. It's our thoughts about it that make it so. And that is the beauty of meditation, because through meditation, every single time we notice that we're thinking and then we come back to our breath over and over and over again, we are exercising our brains and bringing ourselves back to the present moment over and over again. And it is in that present moment that we connect to the infinite creativity that ultimately is available to us and freed up through our conscious ability to allow the energy that we have in our life to move freely and collaboratively with the rest of the universe. So all that energy that you freed up by not staring at your cell phone, that becomes available to you in the present moment. It's not available to you if you're up in your head having an argument with the person who just cut you off in traffic. That creative energy is not available to you. But the more and more that we come into that present moment and are just here right now, just being, that energy that you have worked so hard to break habits and to free up and to allow it to be there, that energy comes to us as inspiration, the impulses, the ideas, the flow. It comes to us in the present moment. And so that, my dear calendar friends, is why we'll end with a song. You can close your eyes if you want to, but you don't have to. But you can just listen. Put your hand on your heart. Feel your breathing. If you notice that you're thinking, you can just come back to your breathing, listen to the music, and just be here now. The more you can be here now,
the more you lay out that welcome mat for the infinite to come into your life. So I hope that all of you have a really, really beautiful day wherever you are, and I will see you all in July.